What up? Let me show you something.
Let me show you something.
This is an avocado tree. When I put it in this pot, I put a little plastic reservoir below to catch the water, and look what happened. See, this plant's gotten out of control and needs a bigger pot. So that's what we got here. And we're going to try to duplicate that little reservoir with this. If you recall in one of my last videos when I repotted this huge avocado tree, I put some avocado seeds in water to see if they could germinate. And to be perfectly honest, those seeds didn't germinate, they actually died. But I put some more avocado seeds in water and I got this one to germinate. And if you look up close, you can kind of see that it's about to sprout and get some leaves. So I have to plant that into a small pot. Maybe something like this. Or this maybe. Or maybe even something like this. I could even use a small clay one, like I did with this one, and put the reservoir below. And let that root sort of swim in the water, because it seems like they like to do that. So that sounds like a good idea, right? Yeah, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. Let's examine this one. It's another one that I have in water. It's getting a little fragile, as you can see. Kind of split open. There's no root yet, but it's kind of fragile, so I don't want to touch it too much. And I like to use glass so you can basically see below, so you can be there. This one is fairly new, nothing's really happening yet. It's just started to crack a little bit, and that's about it. I think I'm gonna get some gloves. I'm gonna prep the pots. I'm gonna take this avocado tree, put it in that big pot. And then we're gonna take this little small avocado seed and put it in one of those small clay pots. Maybe this one. So what I did there, now I just got to make sure that gets enough water. Basically, I added some rocks, which I use as substrate in my fish tank to make sure there was some air at the bottom to make sure that drainage can happen. So what I like to do is, once I've got it potted, I like to make sure that I give it enough water to make sure that the water drains through pretty quickly and it doesn't stay moist in there. So I add some rocks, which was the substrate for my fish tank, to the bottom. I use the straw to keep a little tunnel for my root to reach. Then I added dirt on top of that, just enough so that it would cover the root, but not the whole seed, because I want the seed to stay above the dirt to let the sprout come out easily, and also to let some sun in there. If I completely cover that up with dirt, it would be a little harder for it to sprout. So I'm gonna leave it wide open so the sun can crack in there. Just enough space at the bottom so you can see the root coming out, and the water's draining fairly quickly right through the dirt and the rocks. So I love it. Usually what I try to do is I try to water right on top. And as you see in our example here, the water just drips through. Maybe I'll use this as my reservoir. That worked out great. So we're just gonna make sure to keep watering that and keep an eye on it. And I'll be able to see when the root comes down. I'll probably fill that with a little more water because the root will keep pushing down to try to get in the water. I'll give you an example of that. Now look at this avocado tree. I mean, what is this? Look at that. Let's put it back in there and try not to disturb it. It's too late for that already, right? Wow. So yeah, those roots are thriving down there. Maybe I'll add this water to that. Might like it. As you might see, the water flows down pretty good. See it dripping right down. Well, there you go. So yeah, I just leave this one like this. I haven't repotted it. I just let it thrive with its roots in the water. It seems to be doing really well. All right, so this is done. Let's just add some water to this. Put enough so it reaches the bottom of the clay pot. Hopefully the root touching the water, and it'll just thrive like this, hopefully. So there's that. Now we've got to replant that here. Guess we should repeat the same process with this one. think we said we're going to use this as our reservoir. I usually like to use a plate to cover that. One second. Got it. See that little root coming out? Beautifully replanted. Just add a little water. Make sure it drains really well. Love to add a little water down here so that root can have something to drink. And that's that. Last thing I like to use, these little plant food sticks. I think 3 is good enough to get this one started. For this little guy, I think I'll just use 2, cut these pieces in half. That's it. I'm gonna clean this up on time lapse.